Hello, comrades. The situation is, as usual, critical. According to research, many English speakers naturally use an apical S, while many others use a laminal S. In the laminal position, the tip of the tongue stays low, while in the apical position, it rises like a spear toward the roof of the mouth. And here is where the trouble begins. If you're an apical person, your S often drifts dangerously close to the Russian sha, because the spear tip posture many people use in English is in terms of Russian actually much closer to Russian sha than to Russian S. The result, your S may sound suspiciously close to sha, or worse, be mistaken for it. While in English the apical tongue posture is a perfectly normal way to make S, in Russian, however, it is about as native as palm trees in Siberia. The good news is that this problem is easily fixed, so will be done before your coffee gets cold, or if you live in Murmansk, before it freezes over again. If you are a laminal speaker, even though your S sounds like S to a Russian ear, let's adjust your tongue posture a bit as well, because why not? In Russian, we pronounce S a little differently. Russian S is produced in a way that the tip of the tongue firmly rests behind the lower front teeth. So the contact zone shifts significantly forward compared to English, toward the upper teeth, making Russian S sound and feel too dental to native English ears. And those ears would be right because the Russian version of S is called, in plain language, a dentalized laminal alveolar, or simply dental. In purely auditory terms, this Russian tip of the tongue position at the lower incisors gives Russian S a sharper, hissing effect, sometimes described as duller, softer, or even lisp-like to English ears. Russians, of course, just call it normal. Examples of the Russian S sounding in English are sun, sit, sad, six, sock, sand, bus, yes, miss, kiss, mess. In English, the Russian S probably won't sound very foreign, just as laminal English S sounds fine in Russian, but to produce the Russian S really well, especially if your S is apical, move the tip of the tongue to the lower incisors. Now we can finally train your S. Listen, or if you're eager, repeat after me the following words. Each time move the tip of your tongue to the lower incisors, just like in the image, when pronouncing S. Sok, сон, суп, сад, оса, усы, вес, лес, нос, час. At this point, I would very much like to end the video, but as in life, just when you think it's over, another complication emerges from the shadows. The problem is when we talk about consonants in Russian, we must always remember each one lives a double life. Beneath the surface of a single letter, two sounds quietly coexist like two neighbors in a communal apartment. One hard/plain, something you would consider normal. One soft/palatalized, something you would consider abnormal. Most of the time, these hard and soft versions are just slightly different pronunciations since they depend on co-articulatory effects, so they are not always worth the fuss. But the difference becomes painfully obvious in word final positions when a consonant stands before the soft sign. The soft sign is small, but it has the power to change everything. Like a single mosquito in your tent in the taiga, it will not let you sleep. Take these English words pronounced with a soft S. Бась, есть, месть,
kiss, miss.
As you can see, at the end of words, the difference between hard and soft pronunciations is too big to ignore. To pronounce the soft
S,
the tip of the tongue is, as before, pressed against the lower front teeth, but this time you bend the body of the tongue forward, aiming, at least in feeling, toward the upper front teeth. Then you add a lingering tail, like a tire slowly going flat.
s, s, s.
This lingering tail appears only in word final positions to underscore softness.
S, s.
Listen, or if you are eager, repeat after me the following words with the soft
S. Ось, лось, весь, гусь, здесь, смесь, подпись.
And that's it for the video. Remember, when pronouncing the Russian S, move the tip of your tongue to the lower incisors. Do this and your S will never wander off into sha.